Well, I think my vision and the city's vision for Beaufort is one of a very authentic, sustainable, small hometown that prioritizes natural and historic beauty and diversity in our citizenry. And I think what we're seeing is that we're at risk of losing that.
I think a healthy or thriving city, you take a look at it, education, the arts, a strong civic leadership and sense of community, but also for the future having an economy predicated on things that are going to last 10, 20, 30 years, a generation.
It's going to be forward thinking. It's going to be on the lookout for opportunities for younger people, for the next generation to have a reason to stay and contribute to the economy.
We had some census data that came out last year that was very disturbing. We've seen a significant decline in per capita income. We've seen a significant decrease in our 21 to 44-year-olds who are choosing to live here. About 25% have left over the last 10 years. And we've seen a significant increase in our cost of living. So we started looking at ways to help reverse those trends and came across the folks at the Charleston Digital Corridor.
It was really interesting to see citizens from Beaufort come down to Charleston with the whole goal to learn more about the Digital Corridor model and decide whether this model could be implemented in Beaufort. There's no argument that Charleston has been successful with growing its tech economy. The idea behind the business incubators was to enable companies to provide them with the resources that they need to focus on growing a business. And what we've seen 15 years later are companies that are very successful and are an important part of the fabric of our community. These are companies that have grown from 2 employees to over 200 and are scattered throughout the community and have helped fulfill our mission of successfully diversifying Charleston's economy, of raising the per capita wages and creating opportunities for the students who are graduating from our universities. And it was followed up basically by representatives from the city coming down with some very specific goals that actually aligned exactly with what we were doing in Charleston. So the second visit for me was what did it, which was this perfect alignment of what Beaufort was seeking to do with what Charleston is doing and has done.
What has really amazed me is the excitement and the lack of skepticism, the lack of pessimism around this program. There's not only a forward momentum, but there's people doing blocking and tackling to make sure that whatever we need to be successful here works. And that's in every arena. It's in the political arena, it's supported by the city, it's from Ernest Andrade and his team up in Charleston.
The response has been overwhelmingly positive. Everybody from sort of older retirees to high school and college kids to everybody in between, whether they've got a technology background or not, are very excited about the possibilities of the project.
What we have on Carteret Street is base camp. We start with the building, we start with the space, but the goal is to create a community that will make this space much, much more.
I think we do represent a lot of what startup tech companies will be, and that is we need funding. We need a platform and a community to help incubate our technology. We need resources and access to talent. It's wonderful to be right near 2 colleges. What's important to us is that we have a 3-person team and we can scale pretty easily. This space allows for spillover space into the touchdown areas, into the conference rooms. We're going to have an investor in here a little bit later today, as well as our other co-founder. And the space accommodates it. A year from now, I'd love to see these 10 stations filled with entrepreneurs that have plans to do something else after they leave here.
There's a certain sophistication associated with the model. So what you want to do is you want to bring people up. You want to bring you want to challenge them to be better.
If we're here in 18 months in that little office, then we didn't do something right. Our goal is to use this as a launch pad to scale our business so that we can serve our consumers. It's going to take some time, but when you take a look at those who've succeeded, 10, 12, 15 years into it, and you ask the question what those towns or communities would be like without their tech community, it'd be almost impossible to fathom, right? We're on that same track that 5, 10, 12 years from now. Somebody might ask, well, what would Beaufort be like without a tech community? Beaufort has seen that, and they've recognized that, and they built this place, which is really, really wonderful.
We know we're doing something right. As a professor, as an educator, nearly all of our students are getting job offers and multiple job offers. Many of our students are relocating out of state, and we really do need to change that. We really do need to find opportunities for them to be working local, staying local, contributing to the economy, both in terms of their work and in terms of life.
This is what the Beaufort Digital Corridor is, right? It represents tomorrow's economy. In an environment where you have recreation, you've got festivals, and you've got great food, it's complementary to all the wonderful things that makes Beaufort Beaufort.